For over 2,500 years, the narrow pass of Thermopylae has been remembered not for the armies that marched through it, but for the few who chose to die there. It is a name that echoes with defiance, courage, and sacrifice. In 480 BCE, on a strip of land crushed between steep mountains in the Aegean Sea, 300 Spartan warriors stood against the largest invading force the ancient world had ever witnessed. They were joined by thousands of Greek allies, yet it was the Spartans, with their iron discipline and unwavering resolve, who became immortalized in history. What unfolded over 3 days was not merely a battle, but a moment where human will confronted impossible odds. To understand Thermopylae, we must first understand Greece, a land fragmented politically but united culturally. Dozens of city-states fought constantly, bound only by shared language and religion. Athens championed democracy and philosophy. Sparta embodied militarism and discipline. Meanwhile, to the east, the Persian Empire under Xerxes ruled millions across 3 continents. After Athens supported a rebellion against Persian dominance, Xerxes swore vengeance. His goal was not only conquest, but punishment and absolute domination of Greece as an example to the world. Xerxes spent years gathering his forces. Soldiers from every corner of his empire answered the call. Persians, Medes, Carians, Egyptians, Phoenicians, Babylonian spearmen, Indian war carriers, and Scythian horse archers. Ancient writers spoke of numbers in the millions. Modern estimates place the army at several 100,000, but still unlike anything Greece could hope to match. A massive engineering feat followed. Xerxes ordered a bridge of ships across the Hellespont, allowing his army to march from Asia into Europe. To the Greeks, this was not just an invasion, it was a storm descending on their world. As rumors of the Persian advance spread, Greek leaders met in urgent councils. Some argued surrender or neutrality. Others pushed for full resistance. The Oracle of Delphi delivered bleak prophecies, warning that a king must die for Greece to survive. For many, this seemed a doom-filled omen, but for the Spartans, it was clarity. Duty came before life, honor before comfort, and if a king must die, then a king would. King Leonidas was not chosen by fate, but by lifelong preparation. Raised in the Agoge alongside every Spartan boy, he learned to fight, endure, and lead. His ascent to the throne was not dramatic, it was earned. When the call came to defend Greece, Leonidas handpicked 300 Spartans. These were not simply the strongest, they were fathers, men with sons who would carry their legacy. This was a mission with no return. Thermopylae, the hot gates, was a natural choke point, a narrow corridor between mountains and sea, sometimes barely wide enough for a cart. Here, Persian cavalry meant nothing. Their overwhelming numbers meant nothing. Only the front line mattered, and that was where Spartans excelled. The pass turned the battlefield into a funnel, and Leonidas intended to turn that funnel into a grave for Persians. Spartan soldiers fought as one body, shield to shield, spear to spear. Every movement was trained, rehearsed, and perfected through years of brutal discipline. They rotated ranks flawlessly, allowing constant pressure without fatigue. Against such cohesion, Persian forces, though vast, were at a significant disadvantage in the tight pass. Xerxes expected the Greeks to flee at the sight of his army. Instead, the Spartans combed their hair and prepared their equipment, a silent insult to the Persian king. When the first wave charged, the phalanx held firm. Spears thrust, shields locked, and Persians fell in piles. Hours passed, bodies stacked, but the line never broke. Even the Persian immortals, renowned elite troops, were humbled by the rigid Greek formation. On the second day, Xerxes doubled his efforts. Fresh waves crashed into the Greek line. Again, they were repelled. At one moment, the Spartans executed a feigned retreat, a maneuver requiring extraordinary discipline. When the Persians rushed forward, believing victory close, the Spartans turned, charged, and slaughtered hundreds. Xerxes watched in disbelief as his finest troops failed again. Victory for Greece seemed possible until treachery struck. Ephialtes, seeking Persian gold, revealed a hidden mountain trail that bypassed the Greek position. Xerxes seized the opportunity. As Persian forces moved behind the pass, Leonidas realized the trap was closing. Knowing the pass was lost, Leonidas dismissed most of the Greek allies. They lived to fight another day. But he, his 300 Spartans, 700 Thespians, and 400 Thebans remained. The decision was not strategic, it was symbolic. Greece needed a legend, and Leonidas would give it to them. On the final morning, the Greeks knew their fate. Some sharpened their weapons, others prayed. Spartans simply prepared their armor, calm as ever. They fought not to win, but to ensure their sacrifice would echo across Greece. When the Persians approached from both sides, Leonidas stood at the center of his men, ready. The battle raged with unimaginable ferocity. Spears shattered, shields splintered. Spartans fought with swords, then daggers, then bare hands when nothing remained. Leonidas fell in the fighting, and his men fought desperately to protect his body. Persian arrows darkened the sky, yet the defenders refused to yield. Each Spartan bought seconds with his life, seconds that would save Greece. When the last Spartan fell, the pass belonged to the Persians. But Xerxes did not celebrate. His easy conquest had become a bloody, humiliating struggle. The price he paid for Thermopylae was far greater than the land he gained. Thermopylae did not stop the Persians, but it slowed them, inspired Greece, united rivals, and within a year, the same Greek alliance achieved decisive victories at Salamis and Plataea, driving Persia back. Thermopylae became a symbol of sacrifice, freedom, and impossible courage, a reminder that sometimes a handful of warriors can change the fate of civilizations.